Welcome back to Richo Hobby and Art. This is the second part in my series on my pocket knife collection, and this is the second group of what I call classic pocket knives. So these are pocket knives from the 20th century and possibly earlier than that, and they came primarily from family members. So none of these did I purchase. I was given them by grandfathers or uncles or that sort of thing. To start off, this is what I call a promotional pocket knife, and meaning that it's got some sort of advertisement on it. This is an advertisement for the FS fertilizer. It says cut costs with FS fertilizer. The knife itself is an Ulster. It says Ulster Knife Company, or Ulster Knife USA. That's what's on the tang. There is nothing on the other side. It has 3 blades, so it's got your primary blade and your penknife blade. And then there is an additional blade, which is, I can never remember what this one is called, but it's that third blade a lot of pocket knives from the period have. And so it's in very good condition, sort of this early version of plastic, whether it's Bakelite or something like that, that early plastic for the handle side, for the sides of the handle. Next one. This is another promotional knife. I can't read what the name of the company is. It's a supply company out of, I want to say, Burlington, Iowa. But I'm not really quite sure. It could be somewhere else. This is a very old knife. You can see that this pattern on the back may have been darker at one point. This is a colonial knife from PROV USA. I don't know if the PROV means Providence or somewhere else. It is a Barlow. I assume Barlow is possibly the model of this. This is what I call an electrician's knife. You would have your standard blade, and then you would also have this additional blade, which has a slotted screwdriver. Down here, this thing here is a wire stripper, and I believe that this curved thing has a use as well. But between the wire stripper and the slotted screwdriver, that's really what makes an electrician. The additional, the knife, you could cut the wire to expose the copper parts, and then work it from there. Because of the age of this knife, I'm assuming that most of the wire back then is going to be cloth or a very early version of the plastic that you see in later periods. Other than the writing being hard to read, it's got the name of the company, a phone number, and a location. And I'm pretty sure that says Burlington, Iowa. But again, I don't remember what the name of the company is. And I'm sure that could be easily found if you look back in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s at supply companies in Burlington. You could probably figure out where that's from. Otherwise, in very good condition, and again, this early plastic handle still holding up well. So a nice specialty knife. Next knife, also kind of a specialty knife. This one, it says office knife on it, is actually by Enterprise Cutlery out of St. Louis. And it says that on the tang there. Again, Enterprise Cutlery, St. Louis, USA. If you have seen, and so the blades on this, you just have that blade and you have kind of two of the same. And it's interesting that they both have the Enterprise Cutlery on the tang, on both blades. There is some corrosion inside, so there is some wear and tear on this. But otherwise, I guess this is for an office clerk to use, or that was the suggestion with the name on the blade. I have not really seen this before. I may have done some searches on it at some point trying to find out if there were others like it. So if you have one of these or you've seen some, let me know in the comments if this is a common knife. And there may be other knives like this that have something else written in them. So I'm not sure that this is a promotional knife, as more of possibly just the decoration. This one I got from an uncle. This is, I think, what they call a Texas toothpick, the way the style is. Although I've seen a Texas toothpick that was much larger than this one, probably about this long. And so the other name that this sometimes gets is a fishing knife. You get a very long blade, and then it also has what we call a fishing blade. It's, let's see if I can get this out. There we go. So you got this fishing blade, which the top of it can be used to remove hooks from, or hooks from a fish. You got the fish scaler here, and then it looks like a bottle opener at the bottom. And so I've seen this fishing knife other places as well. This is by Imperial out of Providence, Rhode Island, USA. And it's interesting on this one, it says Imperial Providence, Rhode Island, or RI, and then USA is actually vertical on the tang. And so it does feature a crown in a circle there on the handle. Handle, again, is that nice early plastic. And the thing I've always liked about this, and why I would, if this is not a Texas toothpick, I would certainly get one. I love that shape, just the way that it kind of curves around. It's a very nice, it feels good in the hands. It's a beautiful, beautiful knife. I will say when I got this, it was rusted, or there was something wrong with it, and my uncle suggested I use Navy jelly on it. And, I didn't know as a 12-year-old what Navy jelly was, and now, having been a metals conservator for years, I'm still not sure what Navy jelly is, but I would not use it on this knife. And so, as a kid, I didn't know what the stuff was, didn't really understand the properties of conservation or restoration, and just did what I kind of was told, and I think I made it worse than it was. So anyway, beautiful knife, and I love having it. The last knife I'm going to show you is this one. It's kind of an interesting knife. It features a sort of a deer on it, probably a stag or a buck or something like that. It's very metallic in feel down to... The thing about this is that it's got a piece broken on it. And so that is down in there. I probably had a needle nose plier or something pull that out to try to figure out what that was. And so this is an Imperial knife, and that's probably what it's, although I think it says that on one of the other blades as well. It has 3 blades of the standard pen knife. I will tell you that, I don't know if you caught that when I was looking at it. These 2 blades on the other side have a whole bunch of numbers on them. And I'm guessing that's a model number. Looks like 210537. Oh, they are so small, so hard to read. And there's so many of them. There's like 14 numbers just punched into these things, and I assume it's the same number on both sides. And maybe, no, those are numbers, it's not letters. So I guess it's a long model number, or it's probably the patent number. Some of these knives say patent pending, or, you know, could it possibly be a patent number for this particular knife because of the design? I don't know. If you have any ideas of it, why an Imperial knife would have all those, and again, Imperial company, the Imperial brand, why it would have all of these numbers on it, certainly let me know in the comments. This is a knife I would have gotten from a grandfather, not something, obviously, I bought it at store, because with the broken handle, that really takes a lot of the value off of it. It's not as, you know, not as valuable with one of the blades broken right off. But having belonged to a family member, I don't care. It's a wonderful piece for me. The feel of it and the carving of the animal on the side really makes it kind of interesting. It could have been a hunting knife, although it's kind of small for that. Hunting knives would have been much larger, I would think. So anyway, a beautiful knife, and I enjoy having it. And so that's the end of part 2 of the pocket knives that I have, especially the classic knives. I will be making a part 3 at some point in the future, and that will be focusing on some of my smaller knives, especially those that were used for manicure or just small knives. And it'll be a mixture of modern and antique, as I have both. So stay tuned for that at some point in the future.